Hello YouTube, Shintai Girl here, back with some more Salvation action. Of course, they asked all the guys politely not to call Salvation Death Road, so I will change that in the future. So anyway, this is a replay, of course, and as you can see, this is neither my this is not the Super Heavies or my Speedroid deck. I've been experimenting with a jump doppel deck. Now, for those of you who don't know, jump doppel is basically using jump synchron in conjunction with Doppel Warrior, a small level 2, a small level 3 monster, and the combo goes well. So you would run into a lot of variations of this deck. So this is my extra deck, and you'll notice these two. These are the new Stardust monsters, and I've been able to, I'll go over what they can do. First, this is Divine Spark Dragon Stardust Cipher. That's a long name. And of course, it's a monster. It's a Synchro Dragon Light monster. 4,000 attack and defense. Requires a level 12 monster. It requires one tuner synchro monster and two or more non-tuner synchro monsters. It must first be synchro summoned and can't be summoned any other ways. Once per turn, each card you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when an opponent's effect is activated, monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy one card on the field. So that's a pretty nice effect, and that if they activate a monster effect, not only do you negate it, but you can pop just one card on the field. And when you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one level 8 or lower Stardust monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Now, I chose to run this over Quasar because of this nice little effect that it guards everything on your side of the field, and you can just pop a card if your opponent plays a monster effect. But I've only been able to summon this once off camera, but this one I like a lot. Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon. 10-star, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Dragon Synchro monster. Needs a tuner Synchro monster and a non-tuner Synchro monster. It's pretty easy to get on. Of course, you can be special summoned only by Synchro monsters and no other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish one Synchro monster from your grave until the end of this turn. This card is unaffected by card effects. So basically, if you're doing a lot of sync action, you can just banish it and you won't be affected by your opponent's card effects. So the only way they can get it out of off the field is just to run it over or crash it with something. And that's where the second effect comes in. When this card is destroyed by an opponent, either by battle or by card effect, you can target one banished synchro type dragon monster, special summon it, and you're gonna have a target for this. So anyway, that's this deck. So I have a few saved up, but this one I wanted to show, and you'll see why towards the end of the video. So I'm of course playing my opponent who's running a variant of the new BLS monsters with a little bit of light swarms in between for some milling action, and heroic challenger Thousand Blades. So, and he works well with performer mages. So performer blades. Okay, let's get started. As you can see, I got what I got in my hand. Not much. And he plays, of course, Charge of the Light Brigade, getting that stuff from the graveyard. He has BLS in hand, but he doesn't have nothing in his deck, so he summons Thousand Blades to start things off. On my turn, I know what I'm up against, so I have to play this specifically. Watch the third trap I set. Just keep an eye on it. So anyway, he moves up to his next turn. He plays Supreme Warrior Ritual and summon out the Supreme Blacklifter Soldier, which is a beefy enough monster. But first, let's go over what he does. Of course, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by balance, since it's a graveyard, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. So pretty much it does extra burn damage, and it accumulates over time. If this card is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, or if this card is in your possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, special summon one Gaia the Fierce Knight from your deck, hand, or graveyard. Yeah, there's a new Gaia the Fierce Knight card, and it's okay in this build, but I don't love this deck. So anyway, he takes out my Tuning Wear. He attacks again because of some effect. Then he attacks with Thousand Blades. And then I play my Reinforced Truth card at the end, so I can bring out Doppel Warrior. This is why this card is good, because it's a level 2 Dark Warrior monster. When a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. See how that works with Doppel, with Junk Synchron, and no, I don't want to talk about that. So anyway, so yeah, and if he's used for a synchro summon, you can special summon 2 Doppel tokens. So yeah, this deck, he works with this kind of deck. So let's keep going. Alright, now I got some more options here. So what I obviously do is reinforce the army for Junk Synchron, and bring back Tuning Wear, because Tuning Wear lets me draw when I sync with him. So I go for Excel Synchron, right? I know my friend Don is probably watching this, so he needs to know what this does. Excel Synchron is a level 5 Synchro Tuner. So basically, it's a Synchro monster and a Tuner monster. Now, once per turn, I can send a Synchro monster from my deck to the graveyard to activate an effect. I can either now, depending on what that level that Synchro monster is, I can increase his level by that much or decrease it. So it combos well with another monster. So there's a Doppel token. I activate Synchron's effect. I send this little lovely card, Jet Synchron. 500 attack, 0 attacker, machine tuner monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add 1 junk monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand, special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use it once per turn. This card gives a Synchron deck a lot more speed than you would actually believe. So I sent it for there, not just for the level increase, but to have it in my graveyard. So it becomes Spark Dragon. I draw. I activate Shooting Star. Hold on. So you can Shooting Star is a trap. If a Stardust monster on the field is on the field, you can target a monster on the field and destroy it. So I used it to pop his Blackluster Soldier. And since he doesn't have BLS, he doesn't have it in the deck. So Jump Doppel, because I summoned something from the graveyard. Formula Synchron, lets me draw. 1 for 1. Level Leader, because you always want Level Leader. And this is Stardust Chronicle Dragon. So he has a problem. Like I said, once he hits the field, if you have a lot of synchros in your graveyard, he's going to be hard to get rid of. So right now he spent a long time thinking, so of course he can't do nothing. So, and that's Level Leader. And I swing, of course. Do that 3,000. Door Challenge 1,000 Blades comes out because he took damage. And then he draws a Mantra with 10,000 hands. So he can search out but just in case, I removed Spark Dragon to protect Chronicle Dragon. So he searches out for a Supreme Blackluster Soldier. Goes into a Lava Chain. Sends a card from the graveyard, which would be Fur Mage Trick Climber. Takes damage, 10,000 Blades activates. And he goes for some more Sync action, which is Minerva, the Light of the Saint, which is a Lightsworn Exceed monster. Activates that so he can summon her. And then banishes for BLS. Now, I knew what he was going to plan to do. He was going to take out my monsters. He was either going to crash Supreme Blackluster Soldier or regular BLS into this, because he can't banish it with his effect, because right now he's unaffected by a card effect, so he has to crash into one of them. So I knew he was going to do that. Takes out Doppel Warrior, takes out Level Leader, crashes into these two. Chronicle Spark Dragon comes out, and then we bring out Spark Dragon, activates effect to make it immune to battle, which gives me a level of survivability. But I have to think fast, because next turn, he's more than likely going to banish Spark Dragon, and I would have nothing to defend me with. Then that's when I started to come up with a plan. I had to play it out really, really carefully. So first, I have Level Leader eat off Stardust. Then I have Jet Synchron. Then I bring out my second Level Leader to eat off him. Then I bring out Synchron Carrier. go to Moonlight Rose Dragon and bounce him back to his hand. Now I did that because the reason is he still is going to have to banish monsters from his graveyard just to keep summoning to the field. And Moonlight Rose's dragon's effect is when it's special summoned, or if a level 5 or higher monster special summoned, I can target one of his monsters and just bounce it back to his hand. So he's just going to keep paying to keep bouncing it back. And I know eventually he was going to get over on Moonlight Rose Dragon, but I didn't care. I just wanted him to keep paying it. Alright. Alright, he summoned this bad boy is another one of the new Insolence Exchange of Twilight to add a light monster. Minerva, banish, and so she can start in Trick Mage. Flushes a lot of life points down, but brings it, of course, this combo. And of course, Castell. Now, at this point, I was wondering how he was going to, I was wondering why he didn't use Castell's ability just to bounce this back already. But yeah, I knew I was going to take a lot of damage because I left Synchron Carry in attack mode. But remember this face down card. It's been face down on the field since my first turn. I have not activated it or anything. So he's probably rolled in the it's probably just a dead card. You can't activate it anyway. It's part of my plan. You'll see in a minute. So I use Moonlight Rose Dragon, bounce it back to his hand. Summon Raiden. Raiden gets some more stuff. Finally activates Castell, bounces him back. I take 2,000 from Minerva. I take out my level leaders. At this point, I had to really rely on some real good luck. So I draw an MST, I decide to use it on his trap. And at this point, he probably thought he had the game won because I had no monsters on the field, nothing in my hand, and this one trap card, this singular trap card, Stardust Respark, the only thing protecting me. So let me just read what it does. When your opponent's special summon monster declares a direct attack, if its attack is greater than or equal to your life points, negate the attack. And if you do, get out of the way, Google Chrome. And if you do, draw one card, then special summon one Stardust monster from the extra deck or graveyard. This card, honestly, anyone out there who ever saw this card, how many of you ever thought you would actually pull this card off? So that was my plan. The only thing that would fuck me up is if he attacked with Raiden. Because Raiden wasn't special summon, he was normal summon. So my only hope is if he'd attack with Castell or Minerva, or even BLS. Any other special summon card other than Raiden, and I could activate it. So summons BLS, Raiden mills, he attacks, and he attacks with BLS. And he probably shit himself with what about to happen. Respark. I draw, bring out Stardust Warrior. For those who don't know, this is a Synchro Warrior monster, similar to Chronicle Dragon. It's a tuner Synchro monster with a non-tuner Synchro monster. During either player's turn with an opponent with special summon a monster, you can tribute this card, negate that special summon, and if you do, destroy it. During the end phase, if this effect was activated, you can bring it back. So this is just pretty much a Stardust Dragon for monster summons. So if your opponent summons something big, you just sack him and he'll come right back next turn. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if it leaves field by your opponent's card effect, and it's still in your possession, I can summon a level 8 or lower warrior monster from my extra deck. So, and judging from my extra deck, I have a lot of them. I have Jet Warrior, which can bounce when he's spotted the field. I have Junk Warrior, Nitro Warrior, Road Warrior. I have quite a few. So yeah, he probably shit himself, and he plays stuff in defense mode. So now at this point, I could have easily put him on the defensive. I could have attacked DOS, but I was worried about an honest he had in his hand. Even though he had 4 cards in his deck, I was worried about an honest. So I figured out another plan. Played Toonie. Then I played Double Eater. Eat another level. And then bring out Jump Synchron. Synchron brings out Toonie Wear. Sync for Armory Arm. And then Armory Arm equips to Stardust Warrior. And I just decided to take out his Castell. Next to Armory Arm, he takes 2,000 points of damage. And yeah, that was how I won. I used Stardust Chronicle Dragon as well as Stardust Respark. How many people on YouTube have ever said they've ever pulled that trap card off? And that was the only card. That was the only copy of that card I had in my entire deck. And you saw it. It was just there. I had it face down for the entire duel. I didn't think it would be useful, but it came through in the end. That just goes to show you, in duels, you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. If you got any questions, if you like what you see, leave, comment, subscribe. Got any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll get back to you. Want to support the channel, just click an advertisement or two. It literally takes a second out of your day. Or if you want to support the channel directly, the tip jar is up there. Just drop $1 in the bucket. It's all good. So, until next time, this has been Shin Tiger Curl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good day, good night, and I can't believe I pulled that off.